Hey everybody, my name is qcknd. It is Tuesday, and we're gonna talk about tattoos. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if it's your first time here. Feel free to subscribe. You're already here. It'll allow you to come back much easier. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that I constantly want to talk about, but I feel like it kind of bumps up against maybe gatekeeping a little bit. And I never want to be like that. Like, I'm someone who's like, hey, you want to get bad tattoos, you want to get a lot of tattoos, you want to get your tattoos removed, go ahead. But this is something that I do want to talk about, and it is getting tattooed when you don't really want to. I wanted to talk about this because I do get questions or replies from people a lot that put me in kind of a stressful situation. I don't know if it's my personality type or something like that, but I tend to like absorb sometimes people's feelings or their situations, and I definitely always feel bad when I get messages from you guys that you got a tattoo that you didn't like or you regret it immediately. So I thought maybe I could put some energy out into the world to maybe stop you or address maybe the circumstances that led people to get a tattoo they didn't want, and to address people getting tattooed when they don't want it, and maybe identifying that amongst your friends, or maybe you could just listen, because I did get a message that I feel like maybe made me put my foot down and be like, alright, maybe I'll make the video. So today I want to talk about getting tattoos that you don't want. And I think the best way to not get a tattoo that you don't want is to not get tattooed if you're experiencing any doubt. I know we go on social media and we want what we can't have. We just absolutely love it, and social media is the absolute best place to experience that 100%. It used to be the popular girls at school, and that's what you would lust towards, and then when you went home and watched TV with your little brother, you forgot all about it. But social media is all the time, and tattoos and their availability have exploded. And amazing tattoo artists and being able to find them is a million times easier than even when I was growing up, where you would have to get tattoo magazines and then find tattoo artists through the magazines, and by then they were really far away or in really high demand, because imagine everybody reading the magazine that only features 20 artists. Now I find a new tattoo artist that I'm completely obsessed with like once a week. And with travel being easier and having friends in other cities that you could stay with, objectively, getting amazing tattoos is just easier than 10, 20 years ago. But it also puts you in the shoes of tattooed people, and I feel like we can get mixed up in that fantasy really easily. This may lead us to get tattoos that we don't want, buy things we don't want. I always say, you know, do the research, everything like that. But then again, if you are being influenced into getting tattooed because now you can see how tattooed people also live, you're not subjected to the couple of tattooed images you may see in magazines or movies. It's all the time. And I may sound a million years old to the people who grew up with social media constant, but this is me like trying to understand and at least identify the behavior that may lead someone to getting a tattoo they don't want. Because if you're like, why would you get tattoos that you don't want? You may not even necessarily be getting bad tattoos. You may not want tattoos in general. So I'm sorry to use this person as an example, but they also don't follow me, so they may have just like reached out to someone who could give them tattoo advice, like I'm not sure. So they said, hey, I'm having a very conflicted thought about becoming someone tattooed. If I seriously regret my choices and the design is not how I completely wanted, how do I stop this fear? I am in completely love with this artist and her designs, and I want something similar to this picture and this placement, but what if I change my mind later on? Is this tattoo too hard to laser? And I don't have any, like, I don't want to shame this person because I do get a similar message all the time. Hey, I want to lean into being tattooed, but I'm scared. And will laser be an option for me in the future if I decided this wasn't for me? So I don't want to say overwhelmingly that you wake up and you know you want to be a tattoo person, but I think a lot of people don't have tattoos. And even recently I was on the bus and this guy was like, hey, I'm sorry that I'm staring at you. I'm looking at your tattoos, I'm not checking you out. And I was like, well, I didn't notice before. So you got my attention. But he went on to tell me that like he never got tattoos and now he's in his 40s and he thinks about it sometimes. And I told him, honestly, I was like, I think you would have got them by now, like if you wanted them. And I'm not coming after people who decide to get tattooed in their 50s. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about him. I said, hey, I think you would have got them by now. And he said, I think you're right. I thought that that was an interesting exchange, that he's someone who can think that tattoos are cool and like look at me on the bus and check me out, like tattoo-wise, and think that tattoos are interesting and has thought about getting them but hasn't committed to it. I think being that person is still valid and still cool, and you could still hang out at the tattoo shop if you want, or go to the punk show, or dress like me. Like, I think you can still do all those things without being tattooed, but I do think when you start to get tattooed and it's not what you really want, you run the risk of anxiety, panic attack, and then seeking laser. I want to say in this video that laser is not the catch-all to getting tattooed. And you should never be like, well, I'll just get lasered. I hear people say that and I don't like it. And I am somebody who does encourage laser if it's something that you want, if you're already tattooed and you're feeling some sort of regret afterwards. But I don't think it should be the deciding factor to get tattooed. Laser has only really been available and effective for a couple of years. And there are tattoo removal processes out there that are ineffective, dangerous, or just like absolutely don't work. I could make an entire video about the spam comments I get left on my videos all the time that are like, natural tattoo removal, eat this tomato. And I'm like, what? It's not true. Literally every day, a dozen different ones, I swear. The people trying to sell you that snake oil buy a ton of fake YouTube comments. So what I'm trying to say is, if you go into getting a tattoo with the intention of potentially getting it removed, you could run into a lot of other problems down the road. Some of those being, you know, laser removal, although as good as it's ever been right now, and you know, more affordable and wider known and more widely available, there are still risks involved in getting tattoo removal. And there are still clients that are not ideal for removal. Thinking that that's a guarantee is already very risky. Quickly, I also want to say, and this isn't about anyone in particular, but there are tattoo artists who also get certified in tattoo removal. And I think that conflict of interest is also worth bringing up, especially if you get a tattoo and you're unsure about it, and then your tattoo artist mentions, I do removal, the shop offers removal. I just think that that is also a little predatory and dangerous. So when I think about this person in particular who sent me this message, I think if they were honest to their tattoo artist and they said, I don't know, can I get this removed one day? If this is a tattoo artist who also offers removal, that answer might not be a 100% honest. I am not basing this off of personal experience in tattoo removal. However, with conversations I've been having with tattoo removal specialists about a video I'm also working on, there are a lot of shops that also offer tattoo removal that can make this specific example more dangerous. I always say, if you aren't 100% certain, don't do it. And I am someone who has tattoos that they regret, so I feel like I can sit in front of this camera wrapped in this blanket and assure you that there are times when, even when you feel like you're an expert, you might be wrong, and that's okay. And then that regret, you know, may be eased with knowing that laser removal exists. But if you're getting a fine line tattoo because you believe that it could easily be removed one day in the future, I do just recommend that maybe, you know, it's okay to follow a bunch of tattoo artists on Instagram, and it's okay to hang out at the shop, and it's okay to like live an alternative lifestyle and maybe just not have tattoos. I wanted to create, I guess, a video where I say that that it's okay to not have tattoos, and I have friends without tattoos. In the videos I've made where I talk about feeling alone because I don't spend enough time with tattooed people, also isn't a plea to encourage people to get tattoos if they're not really sure. That is definitely not it. So I wanted to say that you may feel peer pressured or you may feel social pressure into getting tattooed, and one person reached out to me and said, you know, Friday the 13th tattoos have this kind of feeling. And I definitely agree. Any sort of tattoo special or flash event, I feel like also brings up this like feeling of missing out where you're like, all right, let me get something off the sheet. I'll settle for this one. It's the best one on the sheet. I'll get this. I think flash events are a really great way to like, you know, fill up a sleeve or get tattooed by somebody who may be difficult to get tattooed by, or like all your friends all get the same tattoo. I think that they're great for that, but I think they could also create the same kind of feeling like, oh, I have to get something, like, oh, the tattoos are on sale, I have to get that. But that's also human nature and something to be able to identify if you are compulsive like that. Like, I'm someone who will buy things if they're on sale. So if somebody was like, this tattoo is on sale, like Halloween was dangerous. Black Rabbit put out the most amazing Halloween flash sheets, but I know that I already have Halloween tattoos and that I don't really have space for any like very specific tattoos right now. But I was able to have that conversation with myself, like, these are amazing tattoos that I can appreciate, but I don't have to have them in order to be able to appreciate them. So I want to end this video saying there is no specific tattoo that is best to get in hopes of getting removal, because that is never a guarantee. Complete removal is not a guarantee, and it is not a fail-safe to getting tattoos if you don't want them. The tattoo this person described to me was on their chest, which is a huge commitment in general and by someone who is not tattooed. I think that there are a lot of different artists out there now. Way more people are stepping into the profession than 10, 20 years ago. And there are a lot of people who may not have experience to tell you, you shouldn't have this giant chest piece as your first tattoo. You may not have the experience to know that a giant chest piece shouldn't be your first tattoo. And the people out there who have a giant chest piece as their first tattoo are still valid. So it makes all of this really murky if the person getting the tattoo doesn't put in the self-reflection and the understanding that getting tattooed might not be for them. They may be influenced, they may be influenced. It may just be like a nagging sensation that may go away. If it doesn't go away, you know, welcome to the party. You want tattoos, but you can still watch all my videos, you can still hang out with me, you can still hang out with Dave Navarro and not have any tattoos, and that's always completely okay too. But you keep me up at night when you send me these messages like, if I get this tattoo, is it good enough for removal? And I don't want to be like, well, don't get yellow. Like, I want to say, hey, do not get tattooed with the intention of removal. Removal is expensive and it's not guaranteed and it's painful and it might not be available in your area, you know? So I wanted to make this video, and like I said, you know, I don't want to sound like this is gatekeeping. You know, I got a comment this morning that said, I love my bad tattoo. And hey, love it. I have bad tattoos. My tattoo artist, my bread and butter, the sun in my sky, Mark Cross, when I asked him for advice when I said I didn't like one of my tattoos, he said, get more. So that's where I come from. So to sit here and tell you what I did, it's because I care. So I'll leave you with that. Keep the discussion going in the comments, because a lot of people brought really specific examples to my attention, and I don't want to make anyone feel bad. I just want to say, do not get tattoos you don't love. Do not get tattoos you're not 100% sure of. Do not get tattoos because they're on sale. You know, don't get tattoos because you saw a beautiful image online and you want that beauty for your own. You are special, and there's something about you that is so unique and beautiful. And just taking an image and putting it on yourself isn't going to change how perfect you already are. I love you guys. Until next time, bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you like my channel and want to support what I do, please feel free to click on one of these other videos and check out some other content I've been making for you guys. And as always, you can hit that subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications for the next time I post. All in my heart, appreciate you. Bye.